The Knicks recently re-signed Precious Achiuwa to a one-year $6 million deal. Going into next season, Precious will most likely be backing up Mitchell Robinson, but considering how often Mitch gets hurt, I'm sure Precious will get a lot of minutes. This could pave the way to Precious having a breakout season. The same thing happened with Isaiah Hartenstein last year. Mitch went into the season as the starting center, but when he got hurt, Hart took on a much bigger role and he thrived. This paid off for him big time because he signed an $87 million contract with the OKC Thunder this offseason. Precious was thrown into the OG Anunoby trade back in late December, and at that time, he was an afterthought. He barely even played in the first 10 games he was with the Knicks, but around February, the Knicks lost a lot of their bigs due to injury, so his number was called, and he became a big part of the Knicks' success in the second half of last season. He played with high effort and high intensity and really thrived as a backup 5 behind Isaiah Hartenstein. He even started in 18 games, and in those games, he went off averaging nearly a double-double at 12 points and 9 rebounds per game, along with over a block and a steal a game as well. He even produced for the Knicks in the playoffs. In the Knicks' first-round series against the 76ers, they lost Mitchell Robinson due to injury. Precious really stepped up in Game 4. In 20 minutes off the bench, he blocked 4 shots and pulled down 7 rebounds, helping the Knicks to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. Bringing him back is a major W. So now let's dig deeper into the film to see what makes Precious such a valuable player and why I think he could be even better next season. A big reason why Precious Achiuwa flourished on the Knicks last season was because Coach Tibbs simplified his role. In Toronto, he was simply doing too much. The Raptors wanted him to be a stretch big and they gave him the green light offensively, but Coach Tibbs had him focus primarily on defense and rebounding. This allowed Precious to zero in on the strong points of his game. What really stands out to me when watching him is his on-ball defense. He's one of the most switchable defenders, able to guard centers and big forwards, but also defend perimeter players. He rarely gets blown by even when he's switched onto a quick guard. He moves his feet really well, allowing him to consistently stay in front of players on their drives and force them into difficult shots. Even if players do blow by him, he's a great recovery defender, so he can quickly get back in the play and block their shot. And what makes Precious special defensively is that he's one of the rare bigs that can both defend the perimeter but also protect the paint. He may only be about 6'8", but he's got over a 7-foot wingspan and he's got a high vertical, allowing him to make above the rim defensive plays. This allows him to be a legit shot blocker despite being undersized for a big man. And even when he doesn't get the block, he's still able to contest shot attempts in the paint, which makes it tough for driving players to finish. Since Precious Achiuwa can hold his own against ball handlers, this allows the Knicks to switch pick and rolls when he's on the floor. Here the Sixers get into some two-man game. Precious steps out to the perimeter to cover Tyrese Maxey. He tries to drive by him, but that's a great contest by Precious and Josh Hart gets the rebound. Again, the Sixers are going to get into some pick and roll action. This time Maxey rejects the screen, Precious picks him up again, and he contests this mid-range pull-up well, which forces a miss. This time Precious not only picks up Maxey out of the pick and roll, but he's also able to drop back and force a difficult shot by Paul Reed that misses. In today's perimeter-oriented game, having big men like Precious that can both defend the paint and the perimeter extremely well has never been more important. Precious only played 24 minutes a game last season, but if Mitch was to miss a lot of time due to injury again, Precious could see a big increase in minutes. In a much bigger role, Precious has a chance to establish himself as one of the NBA's premier defensive bigs. Most of his contributions come on the defensive end, but Precious also has a big impact on offense. Coach Tibbs loves for his big men to crash the offensive glass, and Precious fits right into that philosophy. The Knicks ranked number 1 in the NBA in offensive rebounds per game last season, and Precious was a big part of that. He crashes the glass hard and scores a lot of easy baskets for himself by getting putbacks and tip-ins. But oftentimes, instead of looking to score after getting the board, he often passes it out, giving the Knicks another chance to score. Having big men like Precious that crash the offensive glass is extremely valuable because the extra possessions helps the Knicks to win games even when they don't shoot it well. Along with putbacks, the rest of Achiuwa's points mainly comes from being set for open dunks and layups. The Knicks often had him sit in the dunker spot, which led to a lot of catch and finish opportunities. Jalen Brunson's drives to the rim often causes him to draw multiple defenders, and he developed a great chemistry with Precious, dumping the ball to him for dunks and lobs. Precious is also a scoring threat in the pick and roll. He sets solid screens for the ball handler, and he can finish strong after rolling to the basket. He can also put the ball on the deck. Now, he isn't going to do any fancy dribble moves, but his handle is good enough to attack immediately off the catch and finish at the basket. One area of his game that I would like to see improved is his shooting. He can hit threes, but I wouldn't call him a stretch big since he shot just 26% from deep last year. I don't expect him to ever be an elite shooter, but if he can at least bring his shooting up to an average level, similar to a player like Miles Turner, that would be huge for the Knicks offense. If Precious can become a good enough shooter that defenders have to respect his shot, then this creates more spacing for the Knicks offense. This would allow the Knicks to play 5 out, which would create more driving lanes for players like Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, who are already great at getting to the basket. Not every team plays 5 out on offense, and you don't have to be a contender, but if we look at the top 3 teams in offensive rating last season, the Celtics, the Pacers, and the Thunder, each of these teams play with centers that can hit the long ball. If Precious improves as a shooter, he would have an even bigger impact on winning. So that's going to be it for this breakdown. This upcoming season is going to be very pivotal for both Precious and the Knicks. Even though Precious got paid, it's important to remember that he's only on a 1-year deal. So I'm sure he's hella motivated to keep improving his game so that way he can earn that big payday next summer. If Precious can continue to play elite defense while expanding his game offensively, I think that that'll not only make him a much better player, but that'll also raise the Knicks' ceiling. But now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Precious can break out for the Knicks next season? Let me see your thoughts down below in the comment section. Guys, I'll continue to cover the Knicks throughout the offseason, so if that sounds like something that will interest you, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and have an amazing rest of your day.